Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to talk about sports and politics since she's not here. She cares about either one. Actually, this is a really interesting turn of events, using some air quotes here. The president is demanding that some of the football teams that used quote-unquote insensitive or quote-unquote racist names change their names back immediately. We're talking about the Cleveland Indians. We're talking about the Washington Redskins. I know they tried to get Kansas City to change their name. That did not happen. Very interesting. And now we've got the media reacting to it. And of course, we've got Blue Sky reacting to it. Like, how very dare he? How very dare he? I wondered how long it would take for him to demand this. A lot of these people are never going to watch football. Let's be honest. They're not going to watch baseball. It's like, come on. So let's talk about this. Could we see the Redskins and the Indians get their names back? Major League was a good movie. I love Major League. Did you guys see Major League? I'm sure you probably have. It's one of the best, probably the best Charlie Sheen movie. I think I love that movie. I went to the theater to go see it with my friend back in the day. My hometown, my original hometown, is a big baseball town. A lot of baseball players from that town. So yeah, we had to go see that. Anyway, let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, go to news.clownfishtv.com for more pop culture news and podcasts. And no, this is not a sports show. This is not a sports YouTube channel. I barely talk about sports. I don't watch sports much anymore. Everything has gotten weird. I was never a huge sports fan to begin with. Did used to play baseball with my friends all the time. Like I said, we came from a town where baseball was huge. But yeah, I don't watch a lot of sports. I think everything has gotten weirdly political in sports, and I get tired of it. But anyway, I think people should be allowed to vote on this. The Mad King demands the return of racist sports team names, says Aaron Rupar. Donald J. Trump, the orange one, real Donald Trump. The Washington whatevers should immediately change their names back to the Washington Redskins football team. There's a big clamoring for this. Likewise, the Cleveland Indians, one of the 6 original baseball teams with the storied past. Yeah, that's true. Our great Indian people, that's not politically correct, in massive numbers want this to happen. Yeah, actually, there's not as much backlash to it. My understanding, because we covered the situation with the Kansas City Chiefs kid in the Deadspin lawsuit, it turned out that kid actually belonged to a tribe, and they were trying to go after him, saying he was doing blackface or native face or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, they sued. They sued Deadspin. Deadspin got sold. Whole big thing. But my understanding is that a lot of natives were actually proud of the Chiefs. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for anybody, but I'd be okay with the memes going around about the Caucasians T-shirt, and I'd be okay with that T-shirt. I think it's hilarious. The Whiteys, the Crackers. I don't know. There we go. Kansas City Crackers. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that? I am one. I can use that word. I get a pass to use that word. Their heritage and prestige is systemically being taken away from them. Times are different now than they were 3 or 4 years ago. That's true. We're a country of passion and common sense. Owners get it done. Yeah, let people vote on it. And I don't think they would dare do that. I don't think they would dare let the public vote on it, because I think overwhelmingly people would be like, yeah, why are we changing all the names of all these teams? My high school, I went to 2 different schools, but the one school I went to, Indian themed sports team, and they changed it from the headdress, which is what they used to have, to like Spartacus or some crap like that. Whatever. Yeah, it was like, whatever. It's kind of weird. We were used to always having the Indian theme and the headdress and the whole thing, because that particular area, this part of Pennsylvania, was actually huge. There were a lot of indigenous people from that area. It was, most of the towns were named, after Indian settlements or Indian tribes. And that was, just a thing thing they did there. And then they're like, yeah, we can't do that now. It's offensive. Everything's offensive. All right. So this is this come from Fox 4. President Trump urges Guardians and Commanders to restore former names. He ended a strongly worded social media post, "Get It Done" Sunday, which he encouraged the Major League Baseball's Cleveland Guardians. Is that what they are now? The Guardians? That's dumb. Again, I don't pay much attention to baseball anymore, but the Cleveland Guardians and NFL's Washington Commanders to revert to their organization's former nicknames. The whatever should immediately change their name. Yeah, following longtime criticism of the use of Native American names and imagery on the high school, college, and professional level nationwide, Cleveland owner Paul Dolan announced in July of 2021 the team will become the Guardians. The team had already phased out Chief Wahoo as its primary logo in 2018. Major League was a good movie. I just go watch Major League. And searching for a new brand, we sought a name that strongly reflects the pride, resiliency, and loyalty of Clevelanders. Guardians embodies those defining attributes. It brings to life the pride Clevelanders take in their city and for each other while defending our Cleveland baseball team. They're not gonna revisit the name change. We understand there are different perspectives on the decision we made a few years ago, but obviously it's a decision we made. We've got the opportunity to build a brand as the Guardians. I don't pay much attention to Major League Baseball now. Cleveland Guardians, I haven't even it's been 4 years, and I'm like, wait, this is like the first time I knew they changed their name, but I couldn't for the life of me remember what they changed their name to. Everybody knows the Cleveland Indians. It's just everybody knows. Everybody knows it. The Guardians. Okay. The last 4 years, we're excited about the future. It's in front of us. Washington changed the name in 2020. Redskins, the Washington football team, eventually becoming the Commanders. Yeah, it's just, again, this all happened within the last couple of years because of wokeness, performative wokeness, by the way. And it was probably being done at the behest of white people. If I had to guess, white people decided, just like Splash Mountain, white people decided they were going to speak for everybody else, for all these minorities, and be like, you know what, we're going to take it away. You know what? Let the fans, including the natives who are fans of these teams, let them decide. Put it to vote. You buy a ticket, you come to the stadium, you're obviously supporting us. You buy a ticket, you get the vote. Are we going to keep our name the Guardians, or are we going to go back to being the Indians? That's what I'd do. So this has come from CBS News, which is getting into it with Trump. Now they got Trump threatens to block Washington Commanders stadium deal unless team changes back its former name. Is that what he said? He threatened to block the deal? Oh, hours later, Trump said he may put a restriction on them if they don't change the name back to the original Washington Redskins and get rid of the ridiculous moniker Washington Commanders. I won't make a deal for them to build a stadium in Washington. Damn. The Commanders, well, I mean, it's their team. Technically, it's their team, right? They can do whatever they want to do. Technically, it's their team. But, the Commanders hope to build a new stadium in Washington, D.C. at the site of the RFK Stadium, returning to the capital city almost 30 years after the team decamped to Maryland. The deal is complicated. The stadium sits on federal land. I didn't know any of this, but Congress in January granted the city control over the land for 99 years, clearing the way for property to be redeveloped. City councilors still need to approve the redevelopment plan. Okay. Meanwhile, in baseball, he pushed the Cleveland Guardians to change back to the Indians. Wow. Okay. CBS has reached out to the Commanders, the NFL, and the Major League Baseball for comment. They said the football team in the nation's capital changed its name from the Washington Redskins in 2020 amid steep criticism and pressure from advertisers. Yeah, because the advertisers were all pushing wokeness because they thought that's what was trendy. It's not trendy. It's dumb. I mean, for decades it was that way. It wasn't like there was massive outcry from a large majority of people to change the names, right? Native American groups and some politicians, probably Elizabeth Warren. The team's then owner, Dan Snyder, not to be confused with Footman Dan Schneider, had previously vowed to leave the name in place. The team settled on Commanders after a brief period in which it was known only as the Washington. Holy shit, I missed this whole arc. See, I don't watch sports. I don't watch sports that much anymore. They were literally, are you fucking kidding me? They were literally just called the Washington football team. Are you fucking kidding me? So, like, the Washington football team is playing against the Patriots. I mean, what the fuck? That's the stupidest dumb thing. Oh my God. A day before Sunday's post, Jason Buck, a now retired defensive lineman who played on the Washington team in the 90s, told TMZ he would give anything to meet with Mr. Trump to discuss changing the Commander's name back. Trump has weighed in on the issue in the past. Earlier this month, he told reporters he was opposed to the name change. I wouldn't have changed the name. It doesn't have the same ring to me, but you know, winning can make everything sound good. So if they win, all of a sudden the Commander sounds good, but I wouldn't have changed it. But that's a branding thing, right? In 2020, he said they named teams out of strength, not weakness, but now the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Indians, two fabled sports franchises, look like they're going to be changing their names in order to be politically correct. He also urged a high school in New York not to change its mascot's name and logo, currently the Chiefs, despite a state-level ban on Native American names for school mascots. Yeah, the school I went to, one of the schools I went to, Native American mascot, Native American theme, and then lo and behold, I check in and it's like, wait, everything's all like Roman themed now. What the hell happened? This is what happened. So Linda McMahon, ex-wife, I guess, of Vince McMahon, is going to fight for the people of Massapequa. I don't know. I can't pronounce out these names on this important issue. Yeah, so this is interesting. Yeah, they tried to get the Kansas City Chiefs to change their name, but apparently they banned headdresses and facial war paint, and that's why that kid got singled out on camera, I guess, and then Deadspin ran with it and said the kid was a racist. Bunch of crap. I mean, it's like, this is just like insane. Again, let the fans decide if they're okay with the name. Let the indigenous people, the Native Americans, let them decide. Not just a handful, but like actual Native American sports fans. Let them decide if they're okay with it or not okay with it. And if they're not okay with it, then that's one thing. If the large majority are like, yeah, this is offensive, just get rid of it, we're not going to do this, fine. But when you've got white dudes making the call, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, seriously? Look, this is kind of like we're talking about with movies and stuff. We're going to look back on the last 8 years, maybe 10 years, probably more like 8 years of pop culture and be like, oh yeah, that was during the woke era. Like everything was all messed up. Kind of like rings on a tree, right? You can tell what was going on with that tree when you look at the rings on the tree, and you're going to have like this steady line of pop culture. And then you're going to hit the woke era for entertainment and sports and all that stuff. And it's all going to be like all fucked up beyond belief. And then we're going to go back to like business as usual, I think. But we're going to have like an 8-year blip. It's going to be the blip where everything was just ridiculously, everybody was oversensitive. Everything was overcorrected. And a lot of franchises, legacy franchises, completely destroyed during this era to be politically correct. But, we'll see what happens. Blue Sky, of course, we got to go out to some reactions here. This guy, Parker Malloy, says, I was genuinely curious how long it'd take him to demand the Commanders change their name back. This one says, no one loves the Commanders. Let's go with the Washington Epsteins. That'd be funny. This one says, what bothers me about the Washington Commanders is the Epstein files. Why are the Epstein files now a left-wing thing? Remember when that was a right-wing conspiracy theory just like 2 weeks ago? Remember that? Like you were allowed to talk about Epstein at all? I think they should keep the Washington Commanders, but change the mascot to a German Shepherd biting a Secret Service agent. Salty, the Commanders know only Russian. The thing about Trump and the Washington Commanders is release the Epstein files. I agree. I think the Epstein files should be released 100%. But it's weird to see the left being like, yeah, they're all about the Epstein files before. It was like, no, guys, it's just a right-wing conspiracy theory. They're just trying to go after poor Tom Hanks. Oh boy. Here we go. What's this one? The Athletic. Okay. President Donald Trump wants Washington Commanders and Cleveland Guardians to revert their previous team names. This is nothing but an attempt to distract from the Epstein story. Oh, my God. Big racist child. There's going to be a huge party when he croaks. It can't come soon enough. No, he doesn't. He could care less. He just doesn't want us talking about a certain other story in the news that actually matters. Now, if you're really smart, now'd be the time to disclose UFOs and aliens. If you really want to, like sports teams' names, that's small stuff. You say, yeah, we got aliens and we got fucking UFOs hidden underground. If you want to, people forget all about Epstein. That's what you do. You should probably mention he wants this because he's a racist. Thing you remember about Trump is he's a pedophile and a rapist. Oh, you're going to get sued, Steve. You're going to get sued for defamation. Thought Republicans wanted smaller government. Now they want the president involved in changing sports teams' names. Actually, kind of sort of agree. I think that it's not really the president's place. I mean, he can say, hey, I think it's stupid. But I think put it to vote, right? Let the fans decide. Let the people actually affected decide. Old demented man shouts at TV that sports aren't racist enough anymore. Might have been a catchier headline, but at the end of the day, he just wants people to stop talking about graping children. Oh my God. Trump tried racism to get people to forget he wrote a creepy note. It's all Epstein shit. Okay, he's a racist piece of shit. Trump thinks he's God. What? He said, whatever. Anyway, this is going to be quite the discussion, isn't it? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I'm curious. This is interesting, to say the least, and it's going to become another lightning rod in another day in America, I guess. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.